So of course, any Pokemon fan knows that there was a game being worked on at Game Freak, and they were going to be giving more time this time around to make a game. But unfortunately for Game Freak, one of the biggest leaks of the past 10 years just happened while I was doom scrolling on Twitter, and a terabyte of information was leaked, one of which is source code and actual map editors for Pokemon, and the very origins of where all the Pokemon came from, and future plans that they had for the studio and for the game in general. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and let's just get into it, because damn, there's a lot of information to go through. So if you ever wondered where Pokemon came from, it really has a very much Norse mythology and also Greek mythology feel to it. And this is how Pokemon came into existence. In the beginning, there was a swell of chaos. Everything slowed, mixed together, and everything was unclear. One day, a large egg appeared in the center. The egg continued to sway there. When the swell stopped, the egg spilled out and broke. The absolute god, us, was born. The scattered pieces of the shell transformed into giants and attacked the newly born, us, one after another. However, us continued to grow rapidly and continued to defeat the giants. A fierce battle ensued, but finally us defeated all the giants. Wounded, us decided to create an alter ego, as the left and the right sides of us' body looked different, and decided to create two alter egos. Us gathered the bodies of giants that he had defeated and poured his blood into them. When the alter ego, modeled after his left side, was born, the area was filled with light. Us named it EA, I don't know how to pronounce that, the god of light. When the one resembled his right side was born, time began to flow. Us named it EA, the god of time. To be honest with you, not only does that have Greek mythology and Norse mythology in it, it also has some kind of Bible-ish mythology in it as well, which is kind of crazy that they went that deep and that far into it. That was not the only thing that was included in this leak. There is also beta versions of Pokemon that they didn't release that kind of never took shape, but they kind of scrapped and just made a whole different type of Pokemon altogether, and also future plans of what they wanted exactly in the game. Here are some requests and opinions for the next Pokemon game. Just keep in mind, I will not be sharing any of the leaked documents or any of the leaked images that are leaked within this terabyte of leak, because Nintendo is very notorious to go after people who go through their intellectual property without their permission, especially things that they haven't released. I like my channel and I would love it to grow, so if you want to look at any of that stuff, it is on X/Twitter, so if you guys want to go check that out, just put Pokemon leaks and you'll find plenty of information. But there was also of things that they wanted for the future, like opinions and things that they think should happen in the future, and here are some of the things that they said. To be honest, I don't think personally elements are necessary, as with abilities, it would ultimately lead to a process of selecting Pokemon, which involves hashing eggs, discarding them, catching legendary Pokemon, and resetting the game. So I think it would be more of a hassle for users who want to play the game hard in search of strong Pokemon. One option is to take the stance that if it's a burden, then it's not necessary. But if there's specifications like that, then the Mantics will do it. And as if their existence supports the purchase demographic throughout the series, I think they should be given some kind of relief. If the personality system is to continue, I think it is necessary to take some kind of follow-up measure to reduce the amount of work required, such as making the child's characteristic and personalities conform to one of the parents, so the users who have to do the selection process don't find it troublesome and abandon the game. I would like the backpack pockets to be able to move in a loop from the left or the right edge. The effort required to return makes the response feel poor. I would like the ability to dash anywhere to be implemented as a standard feature in all future series. In the case of the Pokemon series, the map structure makes it not too difficult to move around on the map if you have the ability to fly. But it would be good to have a pointer setting type warp like a Pokemon Wind in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. That would allow you to return to the set location just once after temporarily leaving the dungeon. I would love to be able to sign the trainer cards in the new DS Pokemon game with stylus. I want to use the stylus to play with Pokemon I've caught. I want to draw the eyebrows on the Tug-type Pokemon's faces and tug and stroke the places I like. In FR and LG, there was a feature where you could collect text from various places as voice checker and receive an email from the character, but I would like to see this element expanded even further. I think it would be good to have intimacy setting for gym leaders, like friendship setting for Pokemon. It would be interesting if it would be possible to rematch, and if you challenge multiple times, your friendship will deepen through the battle, and the text will change by about 3 levels. And of course, more lore was leaked, which makes me wonder why they haven't even talked about this, like, at all. Like, I've never heard of any of this, like, be in any Pokemon game, and I'm not sure why it hasn't been in any Pokemon game, unless they just thought of this, but this looks old. This looks like they've had this for a long time. This is like one of those things where Cory Barlog described that God of War and God of War Ragnarok had kind of like a Bible of everything that they wanted to go through in the games. This feels a lot like that, and I'm not sure why a lot of this lore was kept in, like, secret. Debunking the myth. Clarification of rules. Us equals a state of perfect balance, a symbol of utopia. Representation of God equals concept of spirit. Gaia, air, equals a symbol of an unbalanced state. The rage of Ella, loss of light, lack of vitality. EA's lament, stagnation of time, lack of development. A mediator who resorts balance. Ray, I, high equals a being that maintains balance, a triad. Representation as a scenario. Based on the balance between artificial and nature, pursuing the ideal relationships between people and Pokemon. Dividing the Sonon region into 2, west equals artificial equals science, symbolizing the new features added in the DS. The 2 protagonist starting position, east side equals nature equals unexplored territory, vast fertile plains. Differentiated by mountain range. By knowing both, players will understand the benefit of both and that both are important. The hostile forces that arise, the balance is upset by excessive development, whether good or bad. The danger of Pokemon disappearing, the earth collapsing. It is a representation of human foolishness depicted in myth, past a futile battle in mythology, present ignoring balance and overdevelopment. This is lore for games that came out a long time ago, back with the DS, back when they used to use the stylus on the DS. This is lore that really wasn't even expanded on. I guess if you played the game and actually pay attention to the text, it is in there, because there is a lot of text in Pokemon games that people don't really pay attention to because they just want to catch Pokemon and beat the game. So maybe it's in there and people just didn't notice it, but this is a lot of lore that really was kind of left up in the wind. But they go on with the Sonon region and they're kind of like concluding what they want and what they want to come out of this. To restore the state of the regenerate the world, cooperation between Pokemon and people is essential. Pokemons and humans working together equals regenerating the world. Raising the level of consciousness equals a blessing rather than a descent of God. So what is required of the player is Pokemon and nature, nature and humanity, Pokemon and humans, and nature and artificial. Correcting the balance in the world, in a world where various elements are arranged in various ways, equals arrange within a perfect circle. In other words, the player, the human representative in the game, we will have to handle it from a moderate standpoint, and a key to this is love. The following elements are added to the future, a world that has progressed a little bit since before the collapse of a harmonious world. That is, by showing diverse values, diverse Pokemon, and diverse worlds. Enrich the player's own minds and values. We want to make the Sonon region match up to the utopia in the real world. The key word here is moderation. And of course, with leaks, there are also character profiles that they wanted to make for future Pokemon games. One of them that really caught my eye, and I was like, Game Freak wrote this? Okay. I never would have thought the Game Freak wrote this, but I guess we know now. C6 Fight Sexy Pilot. Gender female, age 18 years old. Occupation pilot, ethnic group Hispanic. Family structure father, mother, brother. 1 person Otashi, 2 person you/Kimi. Personality big, cheerful, passionate. Distant taste, specialty music, plain, steel, red, shopping, not. Good at water, swimming. Features, Jim is a leader and a pilot, the pilot of cargo plane transporting goods in C6, separated from the outside world by a rugged mountain range. Her gym is the cargo plane itself, and the gym trainer is the crew. Most of the gym trainers are men, and many are rough because of the harshness of their work, but they are honest. In front of her, he is called Aneki and admired. Her personality is so positive that he seems to be lacking in thought, and he has an ethnic temperament in C6, which is separated from the outside world. Many humans are distant relatives, and the Eastern power is very strong since they are originally immigrants. They use language other than the official language. Therefore, there is a particular habit theory in ordinary leaves. Appearance, 165 centimeters tall, around 53 kg. In weight, brown skin. It is slim, but only the chest is large. Dark eyes. Facial features, clothing, casual clothing such as hot pants and tank tops, more exposure. Person, appearance, image, Isabella Fontana and Jennifer Lopez. So apparently they have ethnic behaviors or temperaments, which is the weirdest thing I've ever read in the whole world. I really hope that this is one of those mistranslations that happens because of Japanese going to English, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. There's many more leaks coming out. Like I said, I won't share any of the leaked images because you can bet your ass that Pokemon is going to be like John Wick and going after each and every one of you who actually do post images that are leaked that are not released yet, or information and images that they haven't released yet. I guarantee you they're going to act like you killed their dog, and they're going to come after each and every one of you. So if you guys want to see it where it won't get taken down, it will be on X, and yeah, it's on Central Leaks. There is like a leak and information update like almost every minute. This is just the most interesting things that I found on there that are kind of crazy. There was also a folder that kind of caught my eye, that was an MMO test. People have been asking for a Pokemon MMO for like 20 years now, so let's hope that that's kind of like a thing that they're going for. I really hope that they concentrate on their next game more than an MMO, but I wouldn't cry and I wouldn't like be heartbroken if it was an MMO, if they do it correctly. But let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think about this Pokemon leak? And what do you think about the future of Pokemon? I will be covering the leak even more, but I am going to edit this and then go to sleep because I was about to go to sleep. Who am I kidding? I never sleep. That's not a thing for me. And remember, you're pretty good.